On Wednesday, the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, in a press briefing, announced visa sanctions on a number of government and election officials in the face of the 4-month-long electoral process.
Today I'm announcing visa restrictions on individuals responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Guyana. Immediate family members of such persons may also be subject to restrictions. The Granger government must respect the results of democratic elections and step aside.
In addition to the visa restrictions by the United States, a statement released by the Canadian government noted that the country, in the interest of the democratic rights of the people of Guyana, firmly maintains that the rule of law and democratic processes must be respected and a declaration be announced with further delay. The release further stated, "We will continue to work with the international community using all tools at our disposal to demand a swift and transparent conclusion to the election process and hold accountable those who prevent it." Meanwhile, the government of Guyana, in response to the stance taken by Canada and other international bodies, also released a statement which urged all countries interested in Guyana's development to await the logical conclusion of the process which is being managed by the Elections Commission, in accordance with the Constitution of Guyana. The government of Guyana also reminded that its executive branch has not participated in the undermining of the electoral process. The executive arm of government regrets the decision taken by the United States Department of State. The matter affecting the outcome of Guyana's election is still before the courts, which is entirely the responsibility of the judiciary, and no declaration has been made. In a telephone conversation with this newscast, Dr. David Hines of the Working People's Alliance, which forms part of the coalition government, asserted that the decision of the United States and its partners do not come as unexpected. Dr. Hines dubbed the move by the United States government as equivalent to interference in a sovereign state's affairs, as well as intimidation.
These moves can be seen to be trying to influence those court cases. And so this can be seen as a kind of intimidatory signal to the courts.
The WPA member expressed the view that this decision by the U.S. comes at the expense of the Guyanese people, and coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic, it could be devastating to the country. He, however, maintained the view that the coalition will not concede at the 2020 elections, since the law must take its course and the declaration be made before any further action.
The revocation of the visas are intended to get the coalition to concede. But how can the coalition concede to an election that is not yet lawfully being declared? How can they concede to something that has not been declared?
Meanwhile, a perusal of the U.S. Embassy's website, gy.usembassy.gov, shows the written statement by the Secretary of State, where he alleges that his action is not tantamount to interference. Guyana's non-democratic trajectory is dangerous for its citizens and the hemisphere as a whole. I hope that Guyana's leaders understand what is at stake if they continue down this path. This action is not about interference. It is to send a clear message of the consequences of subverting democracy and the rule of law, which poses a danger to us and our hemispheric partners. We have long said that we have no preference for a winning party, as long as it is selected through a free and fair electoral process that is credible. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Wendell Badrie.